Ever feel like there's more to the world than meets the eye? Like maybe you've heard whispers about the third eye,
Mhm.
that mysterious concept that pops up everywhere from like ancient texts to those modern wellness blogs.
Yeah.
Well, today we're ditching the whispers and diving headfirst into this whole fascinating world of the third eye.
Okay.
And we're using L.J. Jordan's book as our guide.
Okay.
It's called Third Eye Activation.
Right.
And think of this deep dive as your your express lane to understanding this whole intriguing concept. We're going to be separating fact from, well, let's just say creative interpretations along the way.
And what's particularly interesting is how this concept, the third eye, it isn't something new, right? It's
Mhm.
been like woven its way through history, spirituality, and even has some um, intriguing, albeit debated connections to, science.
Exactly. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's start with the basics. When
Okay.
we say third eye, it's not like we're talking about a literal extra eye, right? So what exactly are we talking about here?
You're right. It's not about suddenly sprouting another eyeball.
Okay.
The third eye is more of a metaphorical concept, I guess.
Okay.
It refers to a different way of seeing, a way of perceiving that goes beyond our typical five senses.
Okay. I see.
Think of it like that inner vision, those gut feelings we sometimes call intuition,
Mm-hmm.
a deeper understanding of the world around us, and for some, even a gateway to psychic abilities.
Okay, so tapping into our inner Yoda. Got it.
Yeah.
But the book also mentioned a connection to a real part of the brain, the pineal gland.
Right.
Is there any actual scientific basis for that link, or is that more of a symbolic association?
That's where things get really intriguing.
Mm.
The pineal gland is this tiny, mysterious gland nestled like deep within the brain.
Mm-hmm.
And for centuries, it's been shrouded in mystery.
Yeah.
And while we do know it produces melatonin,
Right.
a hormone that regulates our sleep-wake cycle, there's still a lot we don't fully understand about its function.
So it's kind of like the brain's best kept secret then.
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay. But what about all those ideas about it being the seat of the soul? Is there any truth to that, or is that more of a spiritual interpretation?
It seems that connection is more symbolic than literal,
Okay.
at least based on
Yeah.
current scientific understanding. However, the history of the pineal gland is fascinating.
Yeah.
Ancient cultures from Egypt to India revered the pine cone, which, if you think about it, looks strikingly similar to the shape of the pineal gland as a symbol of enlightenment and spiritual awakening.
Wow.
So while the scientific jury might still be out on the exact connection, there's definitely a historical link worth exploring.
Definitely makes you wonder what those ancient civilizations were tapping into, right?
Right.
Now, the book also talks about awakening your third eye. What exactly does that mean? And is that something like anyone can do?
The book presents awakening the third eye as a process of enhancing your intuition
Okay.
and potentially even unlocking dormant psychic abilities. And one of the key practices emphasized throughout the book is meditation, especially a technique called Trataka.
Trataka, that sounds kind of intense.
It might sound intimidating, but it's a practice rooted in focus and concentration.
Hmm.
Imagine this. You're gazing at a single point, like a candle flame,
Mm-hmm.
for an extended period. This intense gazing is believed to stimulate the area between your eyebrows, often associated with the sixth chakra or energy center, which is thought to be closely linked to the third eye.
Okay, so like intense staring contests with candles.
Yeah.
I can see how that could lead to some interesting experiences, but meditation can feel like pretty daunting for a lot of people, myself included.
Sure.
Is there a meditation for beginners version somewhere in the book, or do you have to be a Zen master to tap into this whole third eye thing?
You definitely don't need to be a monk meditating on a mountaintop to experience the benefits.
Okay, good to know.
The book emphasizes, finding what works for you. Even incorporating simple mindfulness practices into your daily routine can make a difference. Imagine this. You're brushing your teeth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of letting your mind wander, you focus on the sensation of the brush, the taste of the toothpaste, the rhythm of your breath.
Right.
That right there, that focus on the present moment, that's a form of meditation.
That's surprisingly doable.
Right.
But the book doesn't stop at meditation, does it?
No.
It mentions using crystals, practicing yoga, even incorporating essential oils. Is this where things start to veer into New Age territory?
You're right. The book dives into a whole range of practices often associated with New Age spirituality. For instance, it suggests using specific crystals like amethyst,
Mm-hmm.
known for its calming properties, to help balance the crown chakra, which is often associated with spiritual connection and insight. It also explores using purple agate, believed to enhance intuition and psychic awareness, to help activate the third eye. So each crystal is linked to specific energy centers and intentions.
So it's not just about having a collection of pretty stones.
Right.
There's a whole system of thought behind it.
Exactly. And it's not just crystals. Specific yoga poses get a mention too.
Oh, okay.
Take Thunderbolt pose, for instance.
Okay.
It involves sitting back on your heels and gently pressing your forehead to the ground. The book suggests this pose can help you tap into your inner observer, that quiet space within where you can access deeper levels of awareness, even sense like the calming aroma of bay laurel or the uplifting scent of Melissa essential oil are presented as potential tools for unlocking your potential.
Okay, that's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
While these practices have a long history in various traditions, I think it's important for our listeners to know that the scientific evidence for their effectiveness in activating the third eye is still limited.
Of course.
So it's essential to approach these practices with an open yet discerning mind.
I completely agree. A healthy dose of skepticism is always a good look.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of intriguing, if not entirely proven concepts, the book also touches upon indigo children. Have you ever heard of those? Indigo children, it sounds like something kind of out of a science fiction novel, right?
Yeah.
What exactly is the book's take on them?
It's definitely a concept that sparks curiosity. The book describes indigo children as individuals, often young, who possess a heightened sense of intuition and empathy.
Okay.
They're often characterized as being strong-willed, independent, and sometimes even resistant to those traditional structures of authority.
Interesting.
Think of them like little rebels with a cause,
Yeah.
challenging the status quo and questioning everything.
So are we talking about like real-life superheroes with extraordinary abilities?
Yeah.
Or is this more of a metaphorical way to describe kids who are just like wired a little differently?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? While the concept of indigo children resonates with many people, particularly parents who see these traits in their own children, it's important to note that there's no scientific evidence to support the existence of indigo children as like a distinct human category.
So it's more of a belief system than a scientifically proven phenomenon.
Right.
But it does make you wonder about like the vast spectrum of human potential, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And speaking of unseen energies and potential, the book delves into the world of auras, those invisible energy fields said to surround every living being.
Yes, the book spends quite a bit of time on auras,
Okay.
even suggesting that you can capture them with like a regular camera.
Wait, really? I always thought you needed some kind of special equipment to photograph auras.
That's what I thought too. But the author describes a method using specific lighting and background setups to reveal these subtle energy fields.
Okay, color me intrigued, but let's say we do manage to snap a selfie with our aura, right?
Why?
What do the colors even mean?
The book assigns meaning to different aura colors, associating them with specific personality traits, emotional states, and even spiritual inclinations. For example, a vibrant clear red aura is often linked to like energy, passion, and leadership qualities.
Okay.
While a muddy, darker red might suggest, anger or aggression. Similarly, a bright, clear green often represents someone who's grounded, compassionate, and connected to nature,
Interesting.
whereas a murky green could indicate jealousy or possessiveness.
So it's like a mood ring, but on a much larger, more nuanced scale. It's not as simple as like getting assigned one color and that's your energy signature for life, right?
Precisely.
Yeah.
Just like with personality, our auras are complex and multifaceted. The book emphasizes that aura colors can change and shift depending on various factors, including our mood, our environment, and even our interactions with others.
That makes sense. We're constantly evolving and changing, so it stands to reason that our energy fields would reflect that dynamism.
Right.
But this all feels very, like, theoretical. Is there any practical advice in the book on how we can actually apply this knowledge about the third eye and auras in our everyday lives?
Absolutely. While the book delves into esoteric concepts, it also offers practical advice for cultivating greater awareness and connecting with your intuition. One recurring theme is the importance of a holistic approach to well-being.
So not just meditating under a pyramid, but also making sure we're taking care of our physical and mental health.
Exactly. The author stresses the interconnectedness of our physical, mental, and spiritual selves, suggesting that a balanced and healthy lifestyle can create an environment where subtle energies can flow more freely.
So, along with exploring meditation and crystal healing, are we talking about like healthy diets and regular exercise?
You got it. The book highlights the importance of, nourishing our bodies with nutrient-rich foods, getting enough sleep, and managing stress through practices like yoga, spending time in nature, and cultivating meaningful connections.
It sounds like a recipe for a balanced life, even if you're not entirely sold on the idea of auras and chakras.
Sure.
But what about those who are intrigued by the concept of the third eye and want to, explore it further? Where do they even begin?
The book emphasizes that awakening the third eye is a personal journey,
Right.
and there's no like one-size-fits-all approach.
Okay.
However, it does offer a variety of techniques to explore.
Okay.
Meditation, especially Trataka, is highlighted as a powerful tool for stimulating the third eye and enhancing intuition. It also encourages readers to experiment with crystals like amethyst and purple agate, to incorporate essential oils like bay laurel and melissa into their daily routines, and to explore yoga poses like thunderbolt pose.
So it's about finding what resonates with you and creating a personalized toolkit for exploring your inner world.
Exactly.
But the book goes beyond like individual practices, right?
Yeah.
It also touches on the importance of creating a supportive environment, especially for children who might be more sensitive to energies, those indigo children we talked about earlier.
You're absolutely right. The book stresses the importance of, understanding and supporting these highly intuitive children, recognizing that their unique sensitivities might require different approaches to parenting and education.
So instead of trying to fit them into a box, it's about creating a space where they can thrive and embrace their intuitive gifts.
Exactly. It's about nurturing their creativity, encouraging their curiosity, and helping them navigate a world that might not always, understand or appreciate their unique way of seeing things.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, the book also mentions a practice called smudging. Could you elaborate on that for our listeners who might not be familiar with it?
Smudging is an ancient practice, often attributed to Native American traditions,
Okay.
that involves burning sacred herbs, like sage, to cleanse a space of negative energy.
So it's like an energetic air freshener.
In a way, yeah. The smoke is believed to carry away like negative vibes and stagnant energy, creating a more balanced and peaceful atmosphere. The book suggests smudging after arguments when someone is feeling stressed or overwhelmed, or even just to, maintain a positive energy flow in your home.
That's fascinating. It really makes you think about the unseen energies around us and how they might be influencing our thoughts, our emotions, and even our overall well-being.
It certainly does, and it raises some interesting questions.
Like what?
If we can, consciously cultivate positive energy in our surroundings, what about our personal energy field?
Okay.
Our aura, right? Can we influence that too?
That's a great question. And the book seems to suggest that we can. It talks about how our thoughts, our emotions, and even our intentions can influence the, colors and intensity of our auras.
Exactly. It's a two-way street.
Oh, okay.
Just as our aura can reflect our inner state, our thoughts and feelings can also influence it.
So if I'm feeling stressed or anxious, my aura might reflect those negative emotions.
It could, yeah.
But conversely, if I'm feeling joyful and peaceful, those positive vibrations might radiate outward.
Precisely. It's almost like our aura is a visual representation of our inner landscape, constantly changing and shifting in response to our experiences.
This is making me think about those indigo children again.
Okay.
If they're naturally more sensitive to energies, wouldn't that make them even more susceptible to these shifts and fluctuations?
It's a very valid point. The book stresses the importance of creating a stable and supportive environment for these children, recognizing that their heightened sensitivity can be both a gift and a challenge.
It's about providing them with the tools and understanding they need to navigate a world that might not always be so in tune with their unique way of experiencing things. But this idea of heightened awareness, of being more attuned to subtle energies, it's not exclusive to indigo children, is it?
Not at all.
Mm.
The book suggests that we all have the potential to develop our intuition and tap into this deeper level of awareness.
So we all have a bit of indigo within us, waiting to be awakened.
I like that. It's about tapping into that inner knowing, that gut feeling that often guides us, even when we don't, consciously realize it.
That's a powerful thought. Now, speaking of powerful, the book also delves into the realm of psychic abilities. Is this where things start to get really interesting? Psychic abilities, now we're getting into the really juicy stuff. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people are curious about this. Like, is this something we're all born with? Or is it something we can, like, develop? What does the book have to say about all of this?
Well, the book definitely doesn't shy away from, this fascinating aspect of the third eye. It explores the idea that as our third eye opens, as we become more intuitively aware, our psychic abilities might also begin to, like, blossom.
Okay, so Blossom, like, we're not all going to suddenly become Professor X from X-Men overnight.
Yeah.
It's more nuanced than that, right?
Exactly. It's not about waking up one morning and, like, suddenly being able to read minds or predict the future with, perfect accuracy. The book emphasizes a gradual unfolding,
Okay.
a process of, recognizing, understanding, and ultimately learning to uh, hone these abilities.
So think less special powers and more like fine-tuning our inner compass,
Yeah.
becoming more attuned to those like subtle nudges and whispers of intuition. So how do we go about doing that? Does the book offer any like guidance?
It does. The book delves into a range of techniques aimed at developing specific psychic abilities like clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsentience.
Okay, hold on. Those are some serious tongue twisters. Can you break this down for us?
Absolutely. Think of it this way. Clairvoyance is clear seeing, the ability to perceive information visually, like having intuitive flashes or seeing images in your mind's eye.
Okay.
Clairaudience is clear hearing, being able to receive information through, sounds like hearing whispers, messages, or even music that seems to come from within. And then there's clairsentience, clear feeling, which is all about sensing energy through your physical body,
Okay.
like getting gut feelings, knowing something is right or wrong without logical explanation, or even feeling other people's emotions.
So it's like our senses are expanding beyond the like physical realm, tapping into a different frequency of information.
Exactly.
Pretty mind-blowing. But the book doesn't just mention these abilities in passing, does it? It
Yeah.
actually offers practical exercises to develop them, right?
Yeah, it does. The book suggests that these abilities are like muscles. They get stronger with regular exercise.
Right.
It recommends practicing things like visualization, meditation with a focus on specific senses, and even keeping a dream journal to tap into your subconscious mind. It also delves into more advanced techniques like telepathy,
Okay.
the ability to communicate thoughts directly from one mind to another, and psychometry, sensing the energy and history held within objects.
Wow, telepathy and psychometry. That's venturing into some seriously intriguing territory. But it also makes you wonder, if these abilities are something we can cultivate, is there a risk of them becoming, like, overwhelming?
Sure.
Like, what if your intuition suddenly becomes so heightened that you're, like, bombarded with information, or you start sensing things that you'd rather not?
That's a really important point, and the book does address the potential, challenges of heightened psychic awareness. It talks about how opening your third eye can be like opening a door to a whole new world.
Right.
And just like with any new experience, it's important to proceed with caution and respect.
So maybe not flinging that door wide open all at once,
All right.
but rather approaching it with like a healthy dose of curiosity and a bit of caution, testing the waters before diving in head first.
Exactly.
But what about people who are like really interested in exploring these abilities further, maybe even taking it to a like professional level? Does the book offer any guidance on that?
It does. The book touches on the world of psychic mediums, those who can communicate with spirits and access information from beyond the physical realm. It suggests that while some people might be naturally gifted in this area, it's also a skill that can be developed through, dedicated practice, training, and mentorship from experienced practitioners.
So it's not just about being born with a sixth sense.
Right.
It's about nurturing and refining that sense through like guidance and practice. But what about the potential impact of all of this on our daily lives?
Yeah.
Like if we start actively developing our third eye, exploring these psychic abilities, what kind of like changes might we experience?
The book suggests a whole range of potential shifts. You might notice your intuition becoming, sharper, guiding you toward better decisions, or helping you navigate challenges with greater ease. You might experience more vivid and meaningful dreams, offering insights into your subconscious mind. Some people report feeling a deeper connection to the spiritual realm, a sense of oneness with all things, or even encounters with spirit guides or angels.
Wow, that's a pretty incredible range of possibilities.
Right.
But it also sounds like a lot to process. Are there any, like, downsides to this heightened awareness? Like, could it ever become too much to handle?
That's a valid concern, and the book does acknowledge that heightened psychic awareness can have its challenges.
Mm.
You might experience things like sleep disturbances if your dreams become particularly intense, or you might feel overwhelmed by emotions, both your own and those of others, if your empathy, increases. Some people even describe feeling a sense of disconnection from the physical world as their connection to the spiritual realm strengthens.
So it's important to be mindful of these potential pitfalls and to have, like, strategies in place for managing your energy and maintaining balance. Are there any techniques the book recommends for doing that?
Absolutely. Grounding practices are essential for, anyone exploring psychic development. These can be as simple as spending time in nature, walking barefoot on the earth, or engaging in physical activities to reconnect with your physical body. It also emphasizes the importance of setting boundaries, learning to discern between your own energy and that of others, and creating a supportive network of friends, family, or mentors who understand and support your journey.
So it's about finding that, like, sweet spot, that balance between exploring the unseen world and staying grounded in the present moment. Now, for our listeners who are intrigued by all of this and want to start exploring their own third eye potential, what would you say is the most important first step they can take?
I'd say start with simple awareness. Pay attention to your intuition, those gut feelings that often, guide you. Notice any recurring patterns in your life, any synchronicities or meaningful coincidences. Explore different meditation techniques and see what resonates with you. And most importantly, approach this journey with curiosity, an open mind, and a healthy dose of skepticism.
I love that. Curiosity, open mind, and a discerning eye. It sounds like the perfect recipe for embarking on any adventure, whether it's exploring the outer world or the inner landscapes of our own consciousness.
Exactly. The world of the third eye, of psychic abilities and unseen energies, is vast and often, mysterious. But ultimately, it's a journey of self-discovery,
Yeah.
of connecting with our own innate wisdom and intuition.
This has been an incredible deep dive.
It has.
We've journeyed through, like, ancient history, explored the subtle energy systems of the body, and even ventured into the realm of psychic phenomena. But at its core, it all comes back to that one powerful idea that there's more to us and to this world than meets the eye.
Beautifully said. And perhaps, just perhaps, by tapping into that deeper knowing, that intuitive wisdom within each of us, we can unlock a greater understanding of ourselves, our connection to each other, and the mysteries of the universe.
That's a beautiful thought to leave us with. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey into the world of the third eye. And to our listeners, remember, keep those minds curious, your hearts open, and as always, keep exploring the world with a sense of wonder. Until next time.